Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk to Aitan, episode 18. Today we have Rick Tomberlin. Hello, Rick. How are you doing?
Power up. What's up, mate?
Everything's great.
Talking to you.
You too. You too. So, Rick, where are you based? Where are you from?
Well, I'm, obviously in the United States, from the state of Georgia. I live just outside the beautiful city of Savannah, Georgia. Very historical. Great place. We're not far from, you've probably heard of Hilton Head Island, not far from Hilton Head Island Beach. We're not far from Tybee Island. Great location, good people. We love living here. We've been here 12 years.
And what's it like there? Like, what kind of place is Georgia? I know they've been there before. So, like,
well, Georgia, now you got to remember, I'm very patriotic, very proud of my country, my state, that type thing. Georgia's a southern state, obviously. We're the first state up from Florida. So we have very warm weather. It's very warm outside right now. Very sticky, in fact. It's kind of the polar opposite of what some of maybe Canada and some of the extreme northern states in the U.S. I mean, we have just almost unbearable July, August temperatures. And then, we usually have a great spring, mild winter, great fall. But this time of the year, we call it the dog days of summer. It's really warm outside. It's the temperature approaches 95 quite often. So during the heat of the day, we try to stay indoors as much as possible. But great people, great place to live. I'm a retired teacher, coach. I coached high school football, high school weightlifting. I was an athletic director for 26 years, and great life, great calling. Would do it all over again if I had an opportunity in terms of, what I would choose as an occupation. Really enjoyed interacting with, my students, young people. And I've had the opportunity actually to teach students from all over the world. And it's been a great experience. I'm retired now. When I say retired, I still work. I sell strength and fitness equipment. Out of my home. Well, I don't have it here, but I represent a company. Most of what I do is through the internet, online, and over the phone. And I do visit in person on occasion. But between exercise, selling strength equipment, playing with the grandchildren, and playing with my dogs, I've been married, thank goodness, to Angela for almost, next week will be 41 years.
Wow, congratulations. Yeah.
Hard for me to believe she hadn't kicked me out of the house yet, but
Yeah.
No, we've hung in there. It's been great. We had a great life. So, hey, that was a quick catch up.
No, it's fine. I mean, I'm interested. How did you get involved in becoming a coach? Like from, I'd love to hear about your journey from I don't know how the system works in the States, but I guess from 16, did you always know you wanted to go to be a coach, or what happened?
Well, I've always been involved in athletics. My father really enjoyed following athletics. My dad was a private businessman, a very hardworking man, salt of the earth, just, worked. He ran a filling station for a lot of my youth. And then he opened a little convenient store, grocery store, and did real well with it. It was an entrepreneur, opened a small little chicken restaurant, kind of like Colonel Sanders. And my mother had the same job for 46 years. She worked in a bank.
Wow.
But they were sports fans. And I had some uncles that were good football players, and I idolized them. And, I grew up enjoying football, boxing, enjoyed watching it, listening to it on TV, and, participated at an early age and played in high school, went to a small college on scholarship, a football scholarship, and then transferred to Florida State University. Hey, go Noles, go Seminoles. I graduated from Florida State University in 1980. I remember one day prior to my senior year in high school, I was talking to a coach I really liked. And the coaches have always had a major influence on they were always not only interested in me as a athlete, but as a student, interested in my life. And, I always thought they were great about not overreacting when there was issues. They'd find a problem and solve it. And one of my coaches named Andy Henderson said, well, Rick, what's in your future? What are you looking forward to? And it hit me all of a sudden, I like Coach Henderson. I like him. I said, Coach, I might really seriously consider going into teaching and coaching. And he said, it's a great life. It's a great life. You'll enjoy it. You'll be great at it. And from that moment on, I started making that my primary goal, and I majored in physical education in college and driver's education. And I've always had a real interest in strength training. I unofficially, now this is unofficial, you won't find it in the record books, but according to people that are in the know, Greg Shepard with Bigger, Faster, Stronger, and then my coaches at the time, I set a national squat record in high school, my senior year. I parallel squatted 695 as a 17-year-old.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Senior.
What body weight?
Competition. The first weight competition I ever went to, I won.
What body weight was that?
I was a heavyweight. I was about
heavyweight, yeah. Okay.
I was about 218 at the time, I guess.
Okay.
When I reported to college, I was kind of ahead of most of the other boys in terms of strength, just pure strength. And my conditioning was not always great. And I never have been really into bodybuilding. I've always tried to train like an athlete, to be perfectly honest. Not that there's a lot of difference, but, tried to do that. And I, graduated, started to work immediately as an assistant coach. And I knew from day one that one day I wanted to be a head coach. I guess it was just in my DNA. I wanted to lead my own program. And I got an opportunity at a young age and loved it, and it spent the next 36 years as a head coach. And hey, let me share this with our viewers. Just yesterday, two of my former players, they had the first official ballot for the Georgia High School Hall of Fame. Two of my players made it on the first ballot, which is, there's only one other coach to ever have done that. Takeo Spikes played at Auburn and played with the Cincinnati Bengals, San Francisco 49ers, San Diego Chargers, and Terrence Edwards, who was a great player in the SEC at the University of Georgia, then played in the Canadian Football League. And he's actually, his jersey's retired at Edmonton. So, I'm real proud of those two young men. But no, listen, coaching's a great life. My wife worked in education, and, I joke that I never worked a day in my life. Every day was fun. And, there's problems. You'd be surprised how hard it is, but it was very, very enjoyable, and I really enjoy working with that age group, young people.
Did you ever play as a professional athlete yourself?
No, I was not a great athlete collegiately. I was a good athlete. I did win the Ironman award at Florida State my second year there. That goes to the football player that throughout their testing tests the highest when you add everything together. And, I've always thought that, number one, pros draft their talent, colleges recruit their talent. On the high school level, we have to develop our talent. And I always thought that lifting and stretching and running the whole gamut of training helped me compete better. And, I was not the biggest guy, not necessarily the fastest guy, but I always thought it gave me an edge. I always tried to report in great condition. And I'm proud to say, I hope this doesn't come on arrogant or cocky. I've won 270 games. My teams have won 5 state champions. Well, we've played for 5. We won 3. We were undefeated, 15-0, 3 times. We've won 5 state weightlifting championships.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm very proud of. So
Olympic lifting, yeah. What are we talking about here? When you say the weightlifting, Olympic weightlifting or powerlifting, or like what do you mean by or bodybuilding?
It was like a powerlifting competition, a statewide amongst high schools. Okay. And let me say this: I was the first one. 30 lifters make up a team.
Yeah.
And we had such enthusiasm in my school. I recruited players. We would take 3 teams, A, B, and C, take 90 lifters. And on my C team, I'd always include girls. I'd get the biggest kick when the girls would lift and kick the boys' butt. And I'm gonna tell you, I had a girl finish 4th in the region one year amongst boys, the only one in her class. Then I took a female shot putter one year that finished 7th in the state in the heavyweight division. So think about her. She's only competing against boys from around the state. But, it's a lot of fun, man, a lot of fun, a lot of work, and great life.
Did you think, because I've been involved with sport pretty much all my life as well, and coaching similar to you, like since I was like 14, 15. Do you think, because like the system here in where I'm in England is completely different to the American system. For the sports we play are completely different. However, do you think, I mean, because where you are, you have a much better talent identification than we do. Like I just feel you have like people, obviously, you do the sport you enjoy, you know, baseball, American football, basketball. But do you think that what's lacking is the kind of the the lack of open-mindedness about, for example, I was going to say for you, I bet you if you were kind of placed into more of a weightlifting background, you probably would have made it to a high level, most likely. You know, if you're pushed a bit more and it was taken more seriously and there's more opportunity, do you think sometimes there's a little bit too narrow-mindedness in your systems, like only 3 or 4 sports, that's it, we're not going to put you into something else, and kind of athletes are missing out on other opportunities?
I hear you. You know,
Yeah.
I've always been an advocate of participating in multiple sports. I have 3 grandchildren now, two grandboys, and I'm always encouraging them to play. Hey, let's play. The best players I ever had, and students, you know, when I say players, I don't mean to be just one dimensional there.
Yeah.
But they were young men and women that you know would, for example, play football in the fall, basketball, for example, in the winter, and maybe wrestle in the winter sometimes,
Oh,
or play, run track or play baseball in the spring, to be honest with you. Same thing with the girls. You know, I think you develop better motor skills. I think that, you know, sometimes, you know, we've all got this picture of what we want to become.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that's great. And I think that, you know, that's hard to replace. But, you know, for me, for example, I wanted to be a fullback. I wanted to be a big power fullback like Larry Zonka that played for the Miami Dolphins. I wanted to be Larry Zonka, like him. And, you know, I ended up playing a different position. I played offensive guard. And I hope I don't say anything wrong here, but they say a guard is a fullback with his brains knocked out. Well, that's probably pretty true. You know, I was a fast, strong guard, a little bit undersized, but I think my skill level fit that position. And I think that what happens when you participate in multiple sports, you develop more as a total athlete.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I think for kids, you know, when I say kids, I know that's not a proper word, but for teenagers, young people, hey, we need to encourage them to play. And you know, sometimes they're going to win, sometimes they're going to lose, sometimes they're going to be really good, sometimes they're going to be a backup, but they learn so many lessons. And I think we need to continue to encourage them to play.
Yeah, I think also, like, just to finish off on that point, is what we enjoy doing is not necessarily the best event for us. And I think it's a balance act, right? You know, because you know, some people love playing football, but actually they'll make incredible baseball players, but they don't like baseball. And like, I'm sure you've probably seen that many times where, like, oh, I wish you went over to that sport, and they didn't like it. They didn't want to do it. And it's frustrating probably as a coach. You see guys who, you know, are probably better than any other, the raw talent they have is like you've never seen before, but they just don't want to play that sport, you know?
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
Happens all the time. We have guys that I've seen it with basketball players. You know, everybody wants to be LeBron James or Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Michael Jordan.
And they just don't have quite the skill set for that, but they might be a great tight end or might be a great wide receiver or quarterback. And the opposite is true too.
Yeah.
You know, we have football players that maybe are better suited for baseball or other things.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And tell me, what do you do in your non-sport time? Do you have like any interesting hobbies that people don't know about or that you like doing?
Well, I spend a lot of time with my grandchildren. We're very close as a family. I mentioned that we have 4 dogs. I have 2 Euro boxers, white Euro boxers. I have an Amstaff and a little Chihuahua that runs the house. Angela, my wife, and I mentioned we've been married. Next week will be 41 years. We lift together. I've done the whole deal. I've lifted at school. I've lifted in the gyms. I've got, you know, some equipment here and exercise equipment here. And I like training at home at my age. I don't mind saying I'm 64 and train here at home. And I don't have a big gymnasium, nothing. It's very, you know, I have dumbbells. I have a Olympic bar. I have a flat bench. I have dip bars. You know, we've modified. We have what we call, where I am now is what I call our bonus room. And we have some rubber flooring down, and we come up here and get after it, man. And, you know, I joke that Angela's the best spotter I've ever had. You'd be surprised. You know, I've the last competition I entered, was, well, I got my trophy. That was 2015. I won first place. I bench pressed 405. I won it with 395. And then after the competition, I did 405. And when I enjoy doing the NFL style bench where you put 225 on the bar, see how many reps you can get. And Angela, you'd be surprised. She's a little tiny thing, 108 pounds. She can spot, and if I get in trouble, she can snatch it off of me. Trust me.
Really?
It's kind of fun to lift with your spouse, your significant other, and we enjoy doing that now. Aiton, we're incredible walkers. We walk. It's Angela that motivates me. I probably wouldn't be quite as adamant about it, but last night, for example, I think we walked 5.2 miles. Night before that, it was 6.19 miles. We try to, I try to burn up 3,500 calories a day. Try to have 20,000 steps in a day. I wear a Fitbit, and I'll go ahead and confess now, my biggest weakness is I really love the sugar. I have to fight it off, man. I've got great willpower during the day. When I exercise and get my shower and calm down, we have a pantry. I don't know what you would call it in Europe. We have a pantry. We keep our food, snacks, that type of thing. The pantry starts calling my name. Coach T, I'm in here. Come on, Coach T. And, there's times that I have great willpower. We did the intermittent fasting thing and lost some weight. It felt great. The thing that happens to me, I've got another confession here. 2 birthdays in March. We had 2 birthdays in June. And most people will, and here in the States, or at least in the South, in Georgia, one of the traditions, we have cake and sometimes ice cream. And most people will have 1 serving. Not Coach T, not Papa. Hey, Papa is going to get the king size serving, baby. I'm going back for seconds. So I've got to watch that. I've got to be careful there.
But I imagine you probably eat fairly well in the day, right? Cooking and eating.
We do. And I got to give credit to my wife. She does most of the food preparation. We eat very lean meats. In fact, this might surprise you. She loves vegetables, fresh grown vegetables. Her dad, as a side job, was quite a fisherman and shrimp and that type thing. So we like good seafood. I struggle really, to be honest with you, to get in enough protein during the day. I'd like to, my body weight, my ideal body weight is, I thought about joining the Marine Corps one day. And after college, I went and they did a physical assessment and everything. And they said, Rick, and I was a little heavier at the time. I played collegiate athletics. I was probably 230 at the time. And he said, you got a good physique on them. He said, we think your ideal weight is 208. And I thought, ooh, okay. So between 208 and about 212 has always been my target weight, just for me, for my height, bone structure, that type thing. And at 208, I'm fairly lean, to be honest with you. I'm a little over that now, unfortunately, but it's one of those things. I have been on a little bit of a roller coaster in terms of be right where I want to be and then kind of fall off the wagon a little bit, then have to get back on. But, the other thing I experienced, I don't know if you've had these issues, when I did the intermittent fasting, it might have been due to my lack of education. We did the 16-hour deal. We wouldn't eat anything after 6 p.m. and not before 10 a.m. And I liked it. It did help me quite a bit. I didn't think I developed quite as well from a muscular standpoint. And my strength kind of plateaued during that timeline, just a little. What I've tried to do is modify through the androgen diet. I sent our menu to Andre Bedison. I think I'm pronouncing that right. A few days ago, and he said, "Hey, androgen improved, looks good."
Yeah.
So we try to eat lean meats, chicken, fish, steak. We like the fillets, salmon. We like salmon. The fresh vegetables, obviously, the fruits, and every now and then, I cash in on the dessert.
Well, we're still I always say to everyone, like, we're still human beings and we still want to have foods that we enjoy, even if they are slightly unhealthy. But, you know, if you do 95% of the things generally correctly eating, and then I think you can, as I say, get away with it, you know, as long as you're keeping most of your lifestyle, you know, pretty healthy. Yeah. Tell me, so how did you get involved in Aphro-D? What were you looking for? You're looking for an edge, or like, what were you kind of searching for in that kind of quest to stay strong and lean? Yeah.
Good question. I don't play golf. You know, I don't hunt and fish. I don't have a lot of hobbies. I toyed with the idea, to be honest with you, of entering a novice 55 and over, now it'd be 60 and over, bench press competition or bench press competitions. Look around. They have them from time to time. We have them here where it's like a powerlifting meet. Excuse me. And then sometime we'll have the NFL style lifting meet where 225 is on the bar. How many times can you do it? And I've really, lately, I've been training kind of with that in mind. I think that I would be very competitive with men my age in the under 220 class. I think I would do real well with that. I think, you know, I'm sure there's a guy my age out there that's really strong, or plenty of people, but I think I would. So I kind of kept that in mind. Now I've you know, COVID and different things, I haven't done as much of that as I would like. The other thing too, I think with my work, you know, I think to maintain an athletic posture is important. If I call on I was at a school day before yesterday, and I think if I walked in there and out of shape, and, you know, I don't know that they would have as much respect. I think walking in there now, you know, I think they can tell, hey, you know, he's athletic, he lifts, you know, obviously, you know, he has experience with weights and in the gym and that type of thing. And then longevity, you know, we all want to live a long life. Hey, my mother's 87 right now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Still living. So, you know, I'd like to, you know, be healthy going forward into my late 60s, 70s and beyond. Again, I have to be careful with the body weight and with the sugar, but, you know, I envision myself being 85 years old one day, still lifting, you know, still exercising, maybe a little differently, but, you know, that's really what motivates me, I guess.
And so since you've been taking Aphro-D, what kind of effects and results have you experienced from it so far?
Yeah, I've, and I hope this is okay to say, I've never in my life taken a steroid, never
say whatever you want. Yeah.
And never done anything like that in my life. I have used some of the over-the-counter test boosts that you see advertised.
Yep.
And, you know, really didn't feel like I got the bang for my buck. Honestly, didn't. You know, saw doc advertisements, read the literature, went through, did all the reading, and, you know, here you got a guy that's obviously very well educated, knows what he's talking about, and he is passionate about that. He is very, I saw just yesterday, a couple of days ago, a gentleman on there, on our website, the Aphro-D members on, that was somewhat negative. And Doc comes back and is giving him encouragement and helping him and giving him pointers. Well, how many CEOs would do that? You know, you never, and so I think he believes in it, you know, and I think there's the science is there and the research is there. And, you know, I hope, again, this is not improper. I don't want anything super hardcore. I'm not looking for steroids or TRT or anything. You know, if the herbs and Aphro-D, if they help boost my testosterone, and I do think they do, and if they give me energy, which they do, if they you know, help me in that regard, and I think as a result of boosting my testosterone, I think I build more lean muscle mass, and as a result, you know, lose body fat. That's what I'm after. And I do like, now this is just me, I never like to cycle anything. You know, sometimes with these over-the-counter test boosters, because I think they're actually pharmaceutical type drugs that, you know, they'll tell you, hey, go 8 weeks, stay 4 weeks off. And, you know, you can just take Aphro-D, you know, every morning, 4 capsules in the morning. 100%. And I got a confession here too. Aidan, I did not do the blood work. You and I talked about that, and I should have. But I guess I've gone on feel, the way I feel.
That's important. That's the most important part. Yeah. That's the most important part. How you feel. It's, if you'll know, like the way you're training, the way you feel, it's not going to be by accident. Something is helping you or supporting you.
Well, every day I come in the weight room. If I don't break personal records every day, man, I'm all upset. So it doesn't matter if I'm doing a set on the bench or the incline bench or dips or push-ups or whatever. If last time I did, say, 25, if I don't do 26, I'm thinking, man, and I'm breaking post 60 records. And that is proof in the pudding, isn't it? If you're getting stronger, if you're building endurance, if you feel better, to be honest, that's about all the proof I need. Yeah, it'd be nice to get a blood test, but hey, I see the proof in the pudding, so to speak.
And just finally, before we finish, is what would you say is your message to other men like yourself, your kind of age? What would be your message to them to kind of, you want to get stronger and get leaner? Like, what would you say to those guys, starting from scratch?
Well, I could probably talk about that in an hour. I think you can see I don't have a problem communicating. I think the first thing, like the old commercial, just do it. You got to get started, and and one thing that helps me, that always helped our players, was, kind of find out where you are. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you can, let's just take the bench press, for example, because that's a popular lift. If you can only bench press 100 pounds, fine, that's okay. Start there, and let's go forward and kind of identify your goals and be consistent with what you want to do. And again, I think it's important to attack every workout with the idea, I'm going to break my records. You and I may work together and we'll be great and coaches for each other and support each other, but your records are your records. My records are my records. Now, you can't break a record every set, but throughout the week, I've got a philosophy. I think I can break 5 to 8 records a week, with the different lifts I do. And, I attack every workout. I'm in there to get better. I'm not in there to stay the same. I'm not in there to go through the motions. No, sir. I'm in there to get better. And, I think that comes, with time. And I think the thing is, just get started, 2 to 3 times a week at first, and then maybe 4 times a week, and split your muscle groups up. And again, focus on technique, careful, never bench by yourself, always try to lift with a partner. Trust me, I've had some experiences there. And, be consistent. I think diet is so important. I think sleep, getting quality sleep is so important. Rest, and drink plenty of water, plenty of fluid. And I think you can improve. I like Aphro-D because it's simple, it's easy, it's simple, it's backed by science, it's backed by a super intelligent